Hello everybody, Ian Robson here, and welcome to the edition of Westbridge Hills. Alright, we've got things going on today. If you recall from the previous episode, we planted a little bit of corn here, and as you can see, the corn isn't quite grown yet, but I thought I'd show you what it looked like at this stage, and I thought it was really cool, actually. It looks very, very nice, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's progress time a little bit further. Looks good still. Ooh, interesting little fact. There is a mod out there from Mod Hoster, and what it does basically is, if you want to chop your corn and make it into silage, you have to chop it when it's at, like, I think it's this stage, when it's green still. And it's kind of an interesting little mod. I think it's the same mod, the same guy who makes the GPS mod and the time fast forward mod, strangely enough. Anyways, I thought it was kind of a cool mod because it forces you to chop it when it's green as opposed to when it turns... No. Lemkin's on sale? Cool. When it turns this color. Ooh, wow, that's really nice. Nice. That's the first time I've seen the corn up close. I've seen it from a distance, but never up close. It doesn't look too bad. I don't know if corn actually does that and exposes itself. Like all the side of the... I don't know what you can call it. Stuff on the side of the corn. The corn husk, I guess. I'm not sure if it actually peels off like that or not. I don't know much about corn farming. It might do. Anyways, let's get this guy started here. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. One problem we have always had in Farm Sim 13 at least, is... well, I guess I'll do this. One problem we've always had in Farm Sim... Actually, let's do this. And one problem we've always had in Farm Sim is the fact that hills and corn do not play nice together. So in this scenario, because like right here it's relatively flat, so for the time being it's going to be alright, I imagine. But as it gets over to the other side over there, we are definitely going to have, well, based on traditional knowledge, what we know about Farm Sim 2013, I would suspect that we will have a problem with the header sliding around. So if I look on the outside, maybe we won't. So if you look, we're actually fairly high off the ground still in terms of corn, in terms of the header itself. So it will be interesting to see what happens. I don't think this header actually flexes or anything like that. So and if it does, that's great. I don't know if it does specifically, so we'll see what happens in that regards. So I don't know. This is the first time harvesting corn like that. It's funny, I was playing on Predatory Gaming Jim's live stream the other day with him, and there was a New Holland combine harvester sitting there in front of a corn field like this, and he was going through and changing all the fields and making silage out of all the corn in the field, and I ended up doing what I'm doing right now and harvesting the corn like this. I don't know, this is just a habit. I just find it making things into silage doesn't make sense to me for whatever reason. Slow this down. There we go. Doesn't make sense to me as much, I guess, so that's why I ended up doing stuff like this. We're probably going to be full by the time we get down to the bottom. But I just thought it was funny. It's not something I would normally think about, but I think with a soil mod, it'll be nice once that comes out. Unfortunately, it hasn't come out yet. A lot of other mods have come out, but that soil mod has not come out. It would be... I don't know, I'm just... At this stage, I find that, you know, all the new toys are nice and all that jazz. Although it's coming to the point, for me at least, where I'm noticing I kind of miss the soil mod in terms of what you do with it. So there's more... It adds another element to the game, let's say it that way. Not that I don't enjoy the game, because I definitely do. It's just a question of, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is. I'm almost full, so I need to, maybe not. I'll have to consider bringing the overloader around in a second. I don't really need to use an overloader because I'm really close to the field, but it's fun to do. Ooh. Go. Let's turn this guy around here. And let's go. For some reason, I've been considering making a video playing in a different style. So normally, this is the style I'm referring to. So normally when I play and I record, I talk a lot, I've discovered. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing by any means. Oh, that's cool, you can see right in there. Ah! Turns itself off. Anyways, if you look closely, you can actually see these little teeth moving when this thing's running. I don't know if you can see that. They have little teeth moving. Anyways, let's grab the other tractor over here. I'm considering making a different style where I talk less. It was just a random thought I had. I don't know why, but I was just kind of curious about it because I find, for whatever reason, when I record a video, I find I have to talk. I'm compelled to talk the whole time, and I can't not talk. So I don't know why, just the way I am. And I was considering making a video where I didn't talk as much, for whatever reason. If that's something you'd like to see, I can try it. I can't guarantee it'll work out the way I want it to, but because I think I'll just want to talk, I imagine. But if it's something you would like to see, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'd be kind of curious. Don't have my information up. That's what's throwing me off. I know what I could do. I don't know why I didn't do this before. There we go. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. A less talking episode. I know some people like that. Some people call it like a chill out style of play. I guess I'm not that chilled out. I guess I'm not high strung. That's not the word I'm looking for. High energy, maybe, is the word I could say, perhaps. I don't know. I don't yell or anything like that. That's not my style. Not by a long shot. I know there are definitely people on YouTube who like to yell and scream, and that's great for them. It's not who I am, that's for sure. I'm definitely not that type of person. Alright, that's good. Let's hop back into the combine here. There we go. Turn the GPS back on, close everything up. Yeah, if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. I'm always curious about these types of things. So instead of me talking the whole time, it would be, there's still be talking, of course, but it would just be less of it. I guess what I would try to say is I would try to talk less. I know it would be probably unnatural for me, but it would be something interesting to try out, just to see. I know, like, for example, I know TCG Rob is kind of more along those lines. Grant from Scottish Gaming Guys is a bit more chilled out style. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a go one episode and just see how it goes. For me personally, and one of the reasons why I generally don't do that is because I often find that when I'm watching a video and there's a really long pause, like, I don't mind short pauses by any means, but if there's a really long pause, what I tend to find is I just end up zoning out and not paying attention to what's going on anymore, for whatever reason. So, I think, subconsciously, that's the reason why I do it. Anyhow, how's your day going today? I hope you're all enjoying a lovely fall, or autumn, depending how you want to call it. I know here in Canada, or here in Ontario at least, we've got a little bit of snow the other day there for the very first time. Hasn't stuck around the ground quite yet, although I'm sure it's not long off. We're November 7th, 9th today. So we're at November 9th, so it's entirely possible we could have snow stay on the ground. It's not unheard of to have snow at this time of year. There we go. Helps when you lower the pickup. Or when you lower the header. How much do we got here? 60%. We should be okay. Let's grab this guy here. Yeah, it's we haven't had too much snow yet. I don't know. A lot of people have gotten their crops off. Farmers, I mean, have gotten their crops off, but I don't know how many have actually got them off. I know I heard I heard some stories that some people still had soybeans, believe it or not, soybeans, canola, believe it or not, still in the ground that needed to get off, and that is really surprising. If you still have canola in the ground, you have had extremely bad luck, because canola usually comes off much earlier in the season. Like we're talking somewhere in the area of like August, for example. But it's possible some people might still have canola in the ground, and that would really suck if you did. But if the seeds are still there, and everything, and you're good to go, and the yield's still there, that's great. I don't think at this point the yield would change much because of mainly because they've already matured to their full maturity. I would suspect, but there we go. Perfect. But I know a lot of people what they would normally, I think what they would do after canola is that they would drop some, well, there's two different ways you can go about it. I've heard some stories of people, that's awfully fast. I've heard some stories of people planting canola after canola, and that's primarily because of the volunteer canola that you can get, because canola seeds are so very small. It's possible to get a lot of volunteer canola. Some other people, I think, do wheat after canola. I think it's what it would be. I'm not 100% on that. I can never remember rotations off the top of my head. I just know corn. No, I can't even remember that anymore. When I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And now that I have to think about it, I can't remember it. Isn't always the way it goes. But I'm trying to think. Corn needs nitrogen, so you would put manure for the nitrogen. But soybeans doesn't need the nitrogen, so it would be, I can't remember what it is. If it's winter wheat comes off early, you can put soybeans down after that. No, I can't remember what the rotation is anymore. There definitely is a rotation for that, but not for the life of me remember what it is. No, you're empty? Excellent. There's lots of variations, and lots of people don't do rotations at all. Like some people do soybeans on soybeans on soybeans on soybeans, and have no problem with that. I personally wouldn't do that, just because it's not. I don't think it's good for the soil structure. There we go. I don't think it's good for the soil structure, and it's not good for the. Not good because. It really depends on where people are. Like some people can do it with no problems, in the sense of like they don't run into bug issues, they don't run into yield issues, anything like that. And if that's the case, that's okay to a certain extent. However, if you're doing the same crop and the same crop over and over and over again, you have to continuously spray more. It's not effective to go that route at all, right? So it's different for everybody. I always encourage people to try rotation out, and try cover crops, actually. I've talked to my father-in-law a couple times about potentially trying cover crops out at his farm, and he doesn't see the advantage of it at this time. A lot of people still aren't convinced that cover crops are the way to go, or a good selection. Like, for example, what some people might do is if they take their winter wheat off early in the season, they might put a cover crop down, depending, or they might drop down soybeans after that to hopefully get a double crop off that. It just depends. I know Brian Scott down in the States there, one guy I follow on Twitter, he's at The Farmer's Life, if memory serves. Let's just phrase that up. He's at The Farmer's Life on Twitter. I'm coming through. Did he just really go behind me? He did. Jeez. It's funny, I watched Dirt Tiber's Spotlight review of this game, and one of the things he said was that cars will often do what that car just did and stop like 2 meters away from you. How full are we? Yeah, I thought we were pretty full. And the cars will stop like 2 meters away from you, so you can't actually get out of the area. You're just stuck there because the cars have blocked you in, basically. It's terrible. So that's what kind of reminded me of right there. But yeah, some people will do that kind of system. They'll put like a cover crop down after. They'll put a cover crop down after wheat. Generally not with wheat, actually. It's usually with other things. So if something comes off late in the season, like soybeans, depending on whether they got soybeans off early or not, like for the early maturing soybeans, for example, or low heat unit soybeans, what you could do is you could put a cover crop down after that And then, as Wheat Pete likes to say, harvest the sun. So, oh, he's almost full. Or almost unloaded, I should say. One thing that's nice about this is I don't have to turn the tractor on for it to unload, which is kind of nice, but unrealistic all at the same time, of course. There we go. It's unrealistic all at the same time, so it's kind of funny. It's like a double-edged sword. So far, actually, randomly side thing, we haven't had any problems yet in terms of the header actually hitting the hill yet, which I'm really pleased about, because that was a big problem in 2013. Quite often you would try to use a big wide corn header on a hill like this, and what would happen is you would end up, that looks really strange, it looks fine in here, when I look back it looks really strange. Anyways, you would get stuck or you'd slide all over the place. So far we haven't slid at all. Like, I have the GPS mod, I'm using the GPS mod right now in order to stay straight, but so far we have not like slid all the way across the map or any of that stuff so far, so I'm really pleased about that. And also that texture, or that, I don't even call it, the particle effect of the corn getting pulled into that header is awesome. I'm so happy they incorporated that. When in 2013, when this corn just disappeared, I really did not like that, but this view looks awesome now. It was funny because this is something that the mods at the tail end of 2013 actually had. They had this, but it wasn't in the in-game equipment. But now the in-game equipment has it, which is pretty slick. So it's good to see that Giants up their game in that regards, especially on corn. Corn's something that a lot of American farms and Canadian farms grow. Although the price of corn has gone down a little bit in the last little while. I don't know what it's at right now, but last time I checked it wasn't very high. Let's just hire a worker here and grab is this guy? This guy. I can't wait to get the other vehicle switcher back, because this one I don't like very much, because basically it just puts things, like, just numbers them, and you have to know what number it is. You can't just put them into a specific group, which is something that the old vehicle switcher could do. Alright, let's line up here. Oh, 80%, look at that. Right on time. There we go. Yeah, it'll be nice to see when that vehicle switcher comes out. I know David Oldfield actually got it working, although I think he said there's still some errors in his log in terms of using it, so we'll see. Actually, one of the things I can't wait from OEB specifically, not to say David Oldfield, well, I guess that is his little project, but one of the things I can't wait for is the OEB weight to come out, which will be really nice. Because it's basically like a weight you can adjust. So this is like only a 1600 kilogram weight, so if I want to use this on a smaller tractor, probably not going to be very helpful. The tractor will probably tip over and all that jazz. Whereas if I were to be using the OEB weight, I could adjust it for the tractor itself, which is really slick. There we go. One of the things you can do with it, I think it goes down to 300 kilograms, all the way up to, I think it's like 3,000 kilograms, something in that area. It goes really high. Actually, 3,000 might be a bit high. I forget what the exact number it goes to. But the fact that it's adjustable is fantastic. Originally, that particular mod was designed for the more realistic engine in 2013. And the way the script worked to add and decrease weight was based on the more realistic system, so it only worked in more realistic. I managed to get it to work in 2013 non-more realistic, but the weight wasn't adjustable because adjusting the weight feature was, well, it was based on, it needed the more realistic system for it to function, so I only had the weight itself, not the whole adjusting, which is kind of the reason why you want it a lot of times. So, well, say let it be. Alright, looks like I got one pass left in this field. Yeah, but one pass left in this field. Apparently I forgot to put the pipe in, but oh well. I love that how the GPS just stops you at the end of the field there. So if you, for example, I tab out a lot. I don't know why, but I'll be doing something in Farm Sim, and then I'll be like, oh, let me just tab out here. And if you have the GPS set up correctly, so if I bring up the HUD again here. So right now I have it set up so, or this mode right here, it'll stop at the end of the field, which is really nice for it to be in, because that allows you to, oh, that's weird. It's like my control button is like stuck. Anyways, what it allows you to do is it allows you to change certain things and whatnot in terms of, you can have it stop or continue on and whatnot, so it's pretty cool. I think my game has crashed. I can't turn the wheel or anything. Oh no, I hired a worker, that's what it was. I don't remember hitting H though. Anyways, no, it didn't crash. I was confused, like, what's going on here? I'm like, how come I'm not able to move the wheel at all? Oh well. This guy's almost full. Anyhow, let's get this last little pass here. Maybe what we'll do is we'll get a bigger field going on next time. I think what we'll have to do though is I'll have to upgrade the seeder. Because the seeder we have does not work. I thought it was no-till. It's definitely not. I actually went on the Vaderstat website to see whether it was or was not no-till. Ooh, he's struggling up this hill here. And it's definitely a tractor you follow after tillage. And that combine's sliding. Oh. However, the other seeder we have, the Rapid A, is definitely a no-till for direct seeding, whatever we're going to call it. Alright, he's not going to fully unload, I can guarantee that. But we'll get what we can. And honestly, I didn't really need to use the overloader, I just like the overloader. As I mentioned before, it's not the coolest overloader I've ever seen, but I'll take it. Alright, sweet, so let's go unload this. And I think we'll call it an episode there, folks. What would you like to see next? Is there anything specific you'd like to see next from FS 2015? Maybe some forage harvesting? I haven't done that yet. I think I've done most other things. Whoa. Let's take a quick peek. What haven't we taken a look at? We haven't tried out the manure spreaders yet. Now that we have all this money, we can easily do that. We haven't tried out... We tried that out. We could get the fancy feeder, but we don't really need it. We could do potatoes or sugar beets. Forestry is not something I'm going to do on this map. Not as a focus, at least. Yeah, there's not much else we can really mess around with at this point in time. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe just the manure spreader, I guess, would be the only thing that we could actually mess around with to see what it looks like. Again, 50 meters is the maximum. Makes me sad. I don't think there's anything else. You know what we should do? We should get a couple more animals there. Now we have 50 again. Actually, you know what? I think you can do it with the enter, is it? Yeah, you can. Let's increase our cows up to 75. Oh my gosh, this is... Those people who can't handle flashes, I'm really sorry. This is... I wish they would have changed... I wish they had changed this to something a bit better. Whoops. Let's check what our stats are like now. I don't know if we have enough for our cows. Oh, yeah, we're good for so far. So we increased our cows by a little bit, so that'll give us a little bit more milk, which will be good. And we'll see how it goes from there. Anyways, folks, I think we'll stop it there for the time being. My name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Westbridge Hills. Catch you guys later.